Alzheimer's after 60. How to recognize it early, and what you can do right now. For many adults over 60, the word Alzheimer's brings fear. It feels permanent, untouchable, a slow erasure of everything familiar. But the truth is, Alzheimer's doesn't begin with a single moment of forgetting. It begins much earlier, with small shifts in memory, behavior, and thinking that can be slowed, if you know what to look for. This video is not about fear, it's about awareness, action, and hope. We now know that Alzheimer's develops over many years. The earlier it's recognized, and the more intentional your daily habits, the more power you have to influence how the disease progresses. Alzheimer's is not reversible, but for many, its effects can be delayed, managed, and softened, especially in the early stages. You'll learn here about 20 science-backed ways to support your brain if you or a loved one is facing Alzheimer's. These are practical, realistic steps. No miracle cures, no expensive treatments, just real strategies you can begin at home. Let's start with the first step, knowing the early signs. Part 1. Recognizing Alzheimer's early. 5 signs you should never ignore. Alzheimer's doesn't arrive all at once. It develops quietly, in subtle changes to how you think, feel, and function. These changes are often explained away as just aging. But early detection is key to slowing the disease and maintaining independence. Here are 5 early signs of Alzheimer's that deserve attention, and what you can do when you notice them. 1. Memory loss that disrupts daily life. Not just forgetting, but repeating. We all forget names or appointments sometimes, but Alzheimer's-related memory loss is persistent and interferes with daily living. It's not just, "Where are my keys?" It's forgetting you asked the same question 5 times today. It's not remembering the appointment you just scheduled or the conversation you had an hour ago. What to do? Start a memory tracking system. Use a large calendar with written notes, visible reminders in the home, and a daily log to record conversations or tasks. Involve a trusted person to help reinforce information gently. Repeating is normal in Alzheimer's, but reducing frustration requires patience, clarity, and systems that support memory externally. 2. Trouble planning or solving familiar problems. Even simple tasks become confusing. Difficulty following recipes, managing a budget, or remembering the rules of a familiar game may indicate early executive function decline. This is more than distraction. It's a disruption of logical steps. What to do? Break complex tasks into small, manageable steps. Use written checklists, picture guides, or color-coded sequences. When possible, simplify routines without removing independence. For example, pre-measured cooking ingredients or banking apps with reminders and limits. Keep a consistent daily rhythm. Structure supports the brain's processing ability when logic begins to fade. 3. Confusion with time, place, or sequence. The world starts to feel less anchored. People with early Alzheimer's often lose track of dates, forget where they are, or have trouble understanding the flow of time. They may get up at night thinking it's morning, or dress for summer and winter. What to do? Use large digital clocks with date, time, and weather displays. Post visual cues around the home, such as "This is the kitchen" or "Today is Thursday." Create strong morning and evening routines that include daylight exposure and consistent meal times. These natural cues help the brain reorient itself to the present. 4. Trouble finding words or following conversation. Language becomes effortful. Early Alzheimer's often affects verbal expression. You may forget common words, struggle to follow group conversations, or stop mid-sentence, unsure how to continue. This isn't about shyness, it's about word retrieval loss. What to do? Encourage daily reading out loud. Even 10 minutes a day strengthens language circuits. Practice naming objects around the house or describing activities aloud. Use gestures, visual aids, or simplified phrasing in conversation. And most importantly, speak slowly, kindly, and give extra time for responses. 5. Withdrawal from hobbies and people. Not from disinterest, but mental fatigue. Alzheimer's doesn't just affect memory. It also affects the energy it takes to engage. Many people stop participating in activities they love because it becomes too hard to follow steps, remember names, or stay oriented in conversation. It's not laziness, it's cognitive overwhelm. What to do? Adapt hobbies to match the person's current abilities. If reading becomes hard, try audiobooks. If puzzles are frustrating, try larger piece versions or simpler games. Reduce group size and background noise during social events. One-on-one, familiar settings help reduce cognitive load and anxiety. Offer reassurance, not pressure, and celebrate participation over perfection. Part 2. Daily habits that help slow Alzheimer's progression. Alzheimer's doesn't only affect memory, it alters how the brain processes information, responds to stress, organizes time, and communicates. But here's the good news. While we can't reverse the disease, we can influence how quickly it progresses. The brain remains responsive to patterns, movement, emotion, and rhythm, even in the early and moderate stages of Alzheimer's. Creating the right environment and daily structure gives the brain a better chance to retain function and reduce frustration. Here are 5 daily habits that offer real support to people living with Alzheimer's. 1. Maintain a consistent daily structure. Routines reduce confusion and anxiety. People with Alzheimer's often experience cognitive overload when there's too much unpredictability. Sudden changes in environment, timing, or noise can lead to agitation, disorientation, or even panic. Consistent routines allow the brain to operate on autopilot, reducing mental strain. What to do? Create a daily rhythm with clear morning, afternoon, and evening routines. Meals, bathing, light exercise, and bedtime should happen at the same time each day. Use visual cues, such as picture-based schedules, color-coded clocks, or labeled drawers and cabinets. Introduce a calm zone, a dedicated space in the home where lighting is soft, distractions are minimal, and the person can rest or regroup if overstimulated. 2. Encourage gentle daily movement. Physical activity supports brain oxygenation. Exercise has been shown to slow cognitive decline in Alzheimer's by improving blood flow, reducing inflammation, and supporting neuroplasticity. The key is consistency and safety, not intensity. What to do? Incorporate light activities like walking, stretching, or Tai Chi for 20 to 30 minutes daily. Movement should be enjoyable and non-threatening. If mobility is limited, try seated exercises. Arm circles, leg raises, or gentle resistance bands can still activate key muscle groups and circulation. Pair movement with music to increase motivation. Music activates emotional memory and can make physical activity more engaging. 3. Reduce multitasking. Focus on one step, one task, one moment at a time. People with Alzheimer's struggle to process multiple inputs simultaneously. Trying to follow 2 conversations, cook while listening to the radio, or answer a question while dressing can lead to overload, frustration, or shutdown. What to do? Simplify the environment. Turn off TVs or background noise during tasks or conversations. Focus only on one sensory input at a time. Break tasks into single steps. For example, instead of saying, "Get dressed," say, "Let's start with your shirt," and wait before continuing. Give clear, calm instructions with pauses between steps. Visual cues, such as pointing or demonstrating, help far more than verbal directions alone. 4. Use repetition as a tool, not as a sign of decline. Repetition in Alzheimer's is often seen as a symptom, but it can also be a therapeutic strategy. Repeating key information helps reinforce neural connections. Predictable language and actions offer comfort, reduce anxiety, and support long-term memory. What to do? Create repeated phrases for daily tasks, such as, "Now we brush teeth," or "Time to sit and sip." Say these in the same tone each day. Play familiar songs, poems, or prayers at the same time daily. These tap into long-term memory and emotional regulation. Revisit routines, even if they seem too simple. Folding towels, sorting photos, setting the table. Repetition brings familiarity, and familiarity brings calm. 5. Stimulate the senses gently. Sensory input grounds the mind in the present. The senses are powerful access points to memory. Pleasant smells, textures, tastes, and sounds can ground someone with Alzheimer's, reduce agitation, and spark joy. But overstimulation, strong perfumes, loud environments, sudden noises can have the opposite effect. What to do? Use calming sensory tools. Lavender oil on a cloth, soft blankets, warm tea, or background nature sounds. Engage with texture. Activities like gardening, clay modeling, or folding warm laundry stimulate the brain through the hands. Create a sensory table with safe objects to touch, smell, and explore. Pine cones, citrus peels, fabric swatches, old buttons. These small tactile experiences help orient the brain and reduce restlessness. Alzheimer's changes how the brain receives and processes the world, but not how it longs for comfort, connection, and rhythm. These daily habits are about meeting the brain where it is, not forcing it to be what it was. By shaping the environment, simplifying the moment, and supporting daily patterns, you can make life smoother, safer, and more meaningful, for yourself or someone you love. If any of these ideas helped you see Alzheimer's care in a new light, leave a comment below. Like the video, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss another practical guide to brain care and aging well. Part 3. Nutrition and Alzheimer's. What to eat to support your brain. When it comes to Alzheimer's, what you eat may not cure the disease, but it absolutely affects how it progresses. The brain is an organ that consumes more energy than any other. It requires constant nourishment, proper blood flow, and protection from inflammation and oxidation. Certain nutrients help support memory, protect neurons, and regulate blood sugar, all of which are critical in Alzheimer's care. The right foods can help stabilize mood, improve focus, and slow down mental decline. And the best part? These aren't exotic or expensive. They're everyday foods, used intentionally. Here are 5 key nutritional strategies that can help support a brain affected by Alzheimer's disease. 1. Follow the MIND diet, a proven anti-Alzheimer's eating pattern. The MIND diet, Mediterranean-intervention for neurodegenerative delay, was specifically developed to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's. Studies show that people who closely follow it can reduce their Alzheimer's risk by up to 53%. What to do? Base your meals on leafy greens, berries, whole grains, legumes, nuts, olive oil, and lean proteins like poultry and fish. Eat at least 6 servings of green vegetables and 2 servings of berries per week. Limit red meat, fried food, butter, cheese, and pastries. Instead, focus on fresh, whole ingredients you can recognize and pronounce. Keep meals simple but consistent. Brain health thrives on both nutrition and routine. 2. Add healthy fats, especially omega-3s, to nourish the brain. The human brain is nearly 60% fat by weight, and omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA and EPA, are essential for the structure and function of brain cells. They help reduce brain inflammation and support communication between neurons, critical in Alzheimer's care. What to do? Eat fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, or trout at least twice a week. Grill or bake rather than fry to preserve the healthy fats. If you don't like fish, consider an omega-3 supplement, fish oil or algae-based, ideally with at least 250 to 500 milligrams DHA per day. Include flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts in snacks or meals. Plant-based sources that offer additional anti-inflammatory benefits. 3. Manage blood sugar with slow-digesting carbs and balanced meals. Alzheimer's has been called type 3 diabetes because of its link to insulin resistance and poor glucose metabolism in the brain. Sharp spikes and crashes in blood sugar can impair memory, mood, and focus, and accelerate brain aging. What to do? Avoid white bread, sugary cereals, and sweetened drinks. Instead, choose complex carbohydrates like oats, lentils, brown rice, and sweet potatoes. Always combine carbohydrates with a source of protein or fat, like beans with avocado, or whole grain toast with nut butter. This helps slow digestion and prevent blood sugar spikes. Eat at regular intervals. Skipping meals or eating large portions late at night can destabilize glucose and increase mental fatigue. 5. Increase antioxidant-rich foods to protect brain cells from damage. Alzheimer's is strongly associated with oxidative stress, when harmful free radicals outpace the body's ability to neutralize them. Antioxidants from food help fight this process, reducing the damage to brain cells and supporting long-term function. What to do? Eat colorful vegetables and fruits every day. Think dark leafy greens, carrots, beets, blueberries, red cabbage, and oranges. Each color provides different antioxidants. Use spices like turmeric with black pepper, cinnamon, oregano, and rosemary, all of which contain brain-supportive compounds. Drink green tea or herbal infusions, which are rich in catechins and polyphenols, gentle brain protectors that also calm the nervous system. 5. Stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration can mimic cognitive decline. Dehydration affects memory, focus, and mood, sometimes so severely that it looks like advanced Alzheimer's. Older adults are at higher risk because their thirst signals are weaker, and medications may further deplete fluids. What to do? Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. If plain water is hard to drink, infuse it with lemon, cucumber, or mint. Herbal teas, broth-based soups, and high-water fruits like watermelon and oranges also count. Use a visible water bottle and set reminders to sip throughout the day. If nighttime urination is a concern, front-load your hydration earlier in the day. Be cautious with caffeine and alcohol. Both can dehydrate and interfere with sleep, which also impacts brain health. The food you eat becomes the raw material for your brain. Every bite either helps your neurons fire smoothly or adds to the load they're already struggling to manage. You don't need to follow a perfect diet to see benefits. Start with one change: a salad each day, a fish meal each week, a switch from soda to tea. Your brain will notice, and over time, so will you. If this helped you rethink the way you eat for your brain, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, and tap the bell to keep learning how to care for your mind. One habit at a time. Part 4. The Emotional Brain. Mindset, Connection, and Meaning in Alzheimer's Care. Alzheimer's affects more than memory. It changes how a person feels, relates to others, and experiences the world. And while brain cells may fade, emotional capacity often remains surprisingly intact. People with Alzheimer's still feel love, purpose, joy, sadness, even if they can't express it the same way. This is why emotional and mental health strategies are just as important as medication or diet. They don't just slow decline, they preserve dignity, reduce fear, and create connection. Here are 5 ways to support the whole person, not just the symptoms, in the face of Alzheimer's. 1. Create a calm emotional environment. Your tone becomes their reality. In Alzheimer's, the ability to understand complex language may decline, but the ability to feel emotional tone remains. People may forget your words but remember how you made them feel. Tension, frustration, or hurried speech can trigger anxiety or resistance even if the person can't explain why. What to do? Speak slowly and gently. Use short, calm sentences. Make eye contact and smile. Your emotional energy sets the tone of the interaction. Avoid corrections like, "You already said that," or "That's not true." Instead, redirect or validate. "Let's try this," or "That sounds important." Create peaceful surroundings, soft lighting, minimal clutter, gentle sounds. This reduces stress and helps the brain feel safe. 2. Encourage purposeful activity. People still need to feel useful. Alzheimer's may take away independence, but it doesn't take away the need for meaning. Small, purposeful tasks can restore confidence, reduce agitation, and activate the brain's reward system. What to do? Assign simple roles: folding towels, sorting silverware, watering plants, setting the table. These aren't chores. They're memory anchors. Ask for opinions or preferences, even for basic choices. Would you like tea or juice? This reinforces a sense of control. Celebrate the effort, not the outcome. If something is done wrong, but brings joy, let it be. 3. Support emotional memory. It outlasts cognitive memory. People with Alzheimer's may forget events, but remember how an experience made them feel. Emotional memory lives in deeper parts of the brain and often stays intact longer than facts or details. What to do? Use music, scent, and touch to evoke positive emotion. Play familiar songs. Bring flowers with a known smell. Offer a soft blanket or a favorite sweater. Look through old photos and ask about feelings, not names. Did this moment make you happy? Create new emotional memories. Laughter during a walk, quiet time with a pet, hand-holding during a meal. The feelings may remain even if the context fades. 4. Foster gentle social connection. Isolation accelerates decline. Social withdrawal is common in Alzheimer's, not from disinterest, but from fear of making mistakes or feeling overwhelmed. But isolation leads to faster cognitive decline, depression, and reduced function. Carefully structured interaction can slow these effects. What to do? Keep social gatherings small, familiar, and routine. 1 or 2 people at a time, short visits, low background noise. Don't quiz or correct, simply share. Tell stories, reminisce, or talk about feelings and sensory experiences. Use touch, with permission, to convey presence. A hand on the shoulder, a hug, or sitting close can do more than words. 5. Reframe your mindset. Focus on what remains, not what's lost. Caring for someone with Alzheimer's is emotionally complex. It's easy to focus on decline, but healing begins when we shift our attention to connection, not correction. Even when memory fades, love does not. What to do? Redefine success. It's not remembering a name, it's smiling. It's not completing a sentence, It's sharing a moment. Keep a gratitude log as a caregiver. Write down one thing each day that brought light: a shared laugh, a calm morning, a moment of eye contact. Don't do it alone. Connect with support groups, counselors, or communities who understand. Caring for someone else starts with caring for yourself. Alzheimer's changes the journey, but it does not end the person. Beneath the memory loss, confusion, or silence, there is still a human being, feeling, listening, needing comfort and love. When you support their emotional world, you speak to the part of the brain that still remembers how to feel. And in that space, dignity returns, connection grows, and life still matters. If this message touched you, or if you're walking this road with someone you love, leave a comment. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss another guide to what truly supports the mind, the memory, and the human heart. See you in the next video.